Oh. Hello. Welcome to our garden. It's been a while. Today is January 6th, the Saturday, first Saturday of the year. Shut this window, it's a bit cold. So, we have some work to do. It's been a little while since I last updated a video. Quite a lot has changed. First and foremost, we had some wins last year with veg. The summer squash, the petit pan, fantastic. Brilliant wins with that. Loads and loads of produce. Had some issues with cats. Gotta love them. They don't like my beds. Well, maybe they do. They just like them a bit too much. The office, as I'm sure you saw on some of the videos if you've watched, is up. I have not done the internal walls yet. It has got its insulation. It is now a usable space. The reason why you can't see out these windows is temporarily. This is where my solar panels are going. I've got to do a video on that at some point. But that system's not finished yet. It was a matter of I ran out of time, needed to get it up, get it working as best that I could. And this year I'll finish it off. But it's a good usable space and you'll see me in there quite a bit moving forward with some of the commentary and some parts of my videos. As you can see, I've got some work to do today. I never did clear out these blooming tomato plants before Christmas. And my overwintering of some of my peppers, like the Scotch bonnet, for example, they need some pruning and they're going to move into my office over the next 2 days. So they can stay a little bit warm and hopefully we can have some success with them. But the big news. I did post on YouTube the other day. I finally have an allotment. I will now be at plot 16 in my local village, which is absolutely fantastic. My plans for today, I have to clean this greenhouse out because I need to start setting seeds. I need to get my propagator set up in my office and they can keep me company while I'm working at home. So that's always nice. Get all that done and then I'm going to get down the office and I'll get down my allotment and show you around, and I also need to start pegging out to get some ideas of where we're going. There's quite a nice size plot. It's south facing. There are some houses at the front, or some bungalows at the front, which do unfortunately give a fair bit of shade for just under half my plot. However, I shan't be planting all of my plots straight away. So this time of year, I'll only be getting a couple of those beds set and ready. And as we move through the following months, as the days start to get warmer, I will be adding. But this is the intro, and I will be showing you over the course of the next couple of days how it goes, setting up my plot, what I'm looking to do. I've done some digital plans of what I'm looking at. And yeah, but today, for right now, my greenhouse needs some TLC. Wishing you all a very, very happy new year. Cucumber plants are all out, pepper plants are all out. The only one I think I'm going to be able to save and overwinter is this guy, Scotch bonnet, I think it was. It's still alive. The problem was, so in my household we have quite a few health conditions. And it seems like when we get the proper heat, and as a gardener, should be out there cracking on, getting everything done and dusted, all watered and fed and grown, absolutely lovely. It's also the time that asthma starts to play up and my family start to get some health conditions, including myself now, unfortunately. So that's why everything kind of got left. But there's lots of things to catch up on. Now, I don't know if I showed you, but there is a gardener's channel which I absolutely adore. It's a lovely northern chap, lovely big allotment, and he got something a couple of years ago from one of his viewers. And I thought, that looks bloody brilliant. A one-size-fits-all tool. It's called a hori-hori. And they're brilliant. Now I do have to be careful because they're bloody sharp. But this is it. It's like a trowel. It's saw. You can see that. Got teeth. It's a nice sharp blade. And it's fantastic. And I'm trying to use it in here. And I found out that it's not very good if you're a plonker like me and you forgot to clear out your tomato plants, because no matter what I try and bloody do here, I'll get the string out of the way first. So, lovely and sharp. I'm taking my plants and I'm trying to cut through them. I don't know if you can see that. Nothing on that side. And it takes forever to do it on that side. So I think this will probably be for the spring. It's certainly not a good clean-up tool. So that's going to go away now, and I'm going to carry on with my snips. So all I'm doing at the moment, as I say, got all the cucumber plants out, pepper plants out. There's only one that I'm going to be able to salvage, my own fault, but it is what it is. So all I'm doing at the moment is taking my snips, cutting bits off. I've got my brown bin just out there for garden waste. It's just going in there. Once I've cleaned this all out, swept it all out, I'll bring you back and we can start looking at what we're going to do with, firstly, the plot itself, but then also what we're getting in first. I'm getting very excited. It's a bit early though, isn't it? I can see my breath and we're nowhere near the end of winter. I need to stop myself from planting, don't I? That's not going to happen though, is it? That's not going to happen. I'm still going to plant way too much. But now I suppose I've got a nice big plot. It's all right, isn't it? So yeah, this is where we're at the moment. Just mess everywhere. Mess everywhere. These are all my tomatoes from last year. Well, not all of them, but got to clear all them out, get everything out, sweep it down, clean it down, and then I can get all the timbers back onto these, so then I can get everything set up and ready for planting. And actually, on the note of planting, let me just set you down for a second. It's a bit wobbly. So, one of the nice things about this time of year as well is most companies are coming to the end of their tax year and they need to balance the books so they don't get a lower budget, as we all know. Now, my son's school had some leftover budget. Brilliant. So they've redone a load of things. Well, I don't know if it's leftover budget, if I'm honest. That's what I think. Anyway, opinions like arseholes, everyone's got one. That's what my wife's grandfather used to say. What was I saying? Oh yeah, right. So, what they've done is they've redone parts of the classroom. Brilliant. My son's so happy. It looks beautiful, wonderful. The school has done a fantastic job. Brilliant. But it meant they had some bits and pieces which weren't broken. They're a bit tatty, but they weren't broken. So there's no point throwing them in the bin. So they said, does anybody want any of them? Look what I got. I got loads of these trays. And when I saw these, the first thing I saw, have I got any in here? No, they're all in the house. But the first thing I saw was loo rolls. Lots and lots of loo rolls. All filled with lovely compost and a lovely little corn plant sticking out. I can put these nicely all over my bench. And stop using these water trays because they're not cracked. They're nice and solid. So I can use these to put some water in the base to keep them fed from underneath. And then I can carry this down to my new allotment. I may have 20 of them though. May have been a bit of an excessive. Yeah. It was definitely an excessive amount to grab. But you know what? I prefer to have too many and have to store some than go, oh bugger, I've run out. Right. It's enough procrastinating. I might set you up on a time lapse actually, and you can watch me have fun with my poor old tomato plants. We actually didn't end up with blight, you know. This is just because I left them. Poor things. Back to work. Right, that's all the plants out. As I say, with the exception of the chilli plant I'll try and save. It's very cold today. Although it's showing in here, it's apparently 10 degrees. Still see your breath. Feels very, very cold. Right, so next thing to do is to get all the benches set up. Once the benches are done, then I will start getting all the trays set up and sized. Sweep through in here, try and get it nice and sterile and clean in here. And yeah, I'll bring you back when I've done that, because that's going to be boring as hell. I'm not doing a time lapse on that. See you in a minute. There we go. All done. So, we're now swept. Everything's organised. Realised I really went excessive on these trays. Let's show you how many I've got. So yeah, just a few. We've got some yay deep, and we've got some, well, that deep. I'm a firm believer, if I've got, sorry about that. Let's sort this camera out. There we go. I'm a firm believer that if you've got space to keep it, it's worth having it. Apologies if you can hear my cat in the background, he's being a pain in the arse. You coming in? Yeah? Alright then. But yeah, so greenhouse is all sorted. Next stop for me is now going to be the garden centre. It's pouring down with rain. There's no point going down the allotment right now. I'll wait until the rain's eased off this afternoon, and then I'm going to go with, well, my plan is I'm going to go down there with a load of bamboo canes and peg out some boundaries, because the boundary lines on it are, they're buggered. Need to mark out the paths, and I think I can do that fairly well with a load of bamboo. I've got some bamboo that's on its way out, so I'll use that rather than using the nicer stuff that I've got. And yeah, so the next bit will probably be, it should be me at the allotment now. So for me it'll be a little while, but for you it'll just be 2 seconds. I don't know how good the mic is. This is just off my phone, it's only a quick one. So we did get down here, but we got caught up doing a few other things, but we want to give you a quick tour of plot 16. So the plan is, we've got to go through it quite ruthlessly. We've noticed a few plants that we do like. If you come here, we've got some onions which we're going to pull out. There's some rhubarb over in the corner. But I'm just trying to set the beds at the minute with the poles, so I've got an idea. It's not going to be very good for camera. So we'll just have a little peek around. We've got some raspberries. We've got flower, which I don't know what it is. If anybody does know, by all means leave a comment. I have not got a bloody clue. The wife and my children just came down, so we've just put some tarp out. That'll be the first bed. It's already down mostly before we got here anyway, so weed suppression's already done quite well on there. You can see where the previous tenant has put lamb's wool down to try and suppress the weeds, and then they've started putting wood chip on it, which is lovely. Most of this is going to change. Got to get permission off of the council to do it first, but polytunnel's going to be there. Just here will be the shed. These are gooseberries and currants. Most of them are going to come out. We don't really tend to eat them, so there's no point in me growing with them. Small strawberry bed. Might leave that because that's not really going to affect anything if that's there. In the back corner I'll put the composting station, and over in the opposite corner at the back, that's where I'm going to have the apple tree and the wildlife pond. Now unfortunately the weather has turned, so we're not going to get an awful lot done today. So I'm going to call the video a wrap at that point. If I can get down here tomorrow, I'll do my best to do another video and keep you updated with how we're going. I'll record everything I do while I'm down here. But we've got a few things we're doing, so I don't know if there'll be one tomorrow. Either way, if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Just editing the video in my messy shed. 2 things to quickly add. So I've just put in the plan for what I'm going to do. Might actually be adjusting that, because the tarp that you've seen I've put down, that's now going to be a long raised bed. I will still have a path in between, but it might be a bit smaller. The other thing is, it's my daughter who is recording, bless her heart. She's not feeling too well, so apologies. You can hear her breathing. I know you can. We used my phone rather than a camera for the recording, so apologies for that, but hopefully you still found it useful. I'm very, very excited, and as I just said for you, very much looking forward to seeing you on the next video.